Yeah, yes, sir. What's going on, people? Lespri here once again. I'm saying this break some bread, man. You know what I'm saying? So get a plate. We're gonna talk some shit. In fact, I'm not even gonna be on here for too long. It was just a conversation that I was inspired about, and I wanted to share with you guys since I've been talking about the ego so much. So why the fuck not? The one thing I noticed is that people don't know the difference between ego and condition. Like I had a brother who was actually talking some shit about, what he called modern women versus traditional women, right? So he went on by saying how egotistical modern women are. I'm like, whoa, what that? Whoa! I'm like, whoa, hold on, hold on. Now it sounds dandy though, like it sounds good, but when you break it down, like it's nonsense. Do you see what I'm saying? What makes modern women is because of the conditioning that they are receiving at the moment. It's not like these, what you call these traditional women, were like, fuck men, we don't need them, we're just gonna go to school, we're gonna do all of that. That was not part of their conditioning. They too have an ego. Let's get this one thing straight. Every fucking body has an ego. Everybody has a fucking ego. You're not gonna get rid of it. Now the thing about the ego, it only goes as far as you go. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about spirituality, it allows you to go further. It allows you to go far. So therefore, your ego is on a whole different level. Okay, the ego is that part of you that protects you. Okay. And I guess the best way for me to talk about what the ego is by oh shit, I'll give you one better. Shit, I don't even have to go that far. There's a Haitian saying that says, if a cat were to fall into a pot of hot water, the next time this cat see motherfucking water, it's not gonna come near it. Now that part that's protecting the cat from not, coming near any type of water, that's what the ego is. So it protects you. Now, your job is to educate the ego. Give it, I mean, have you ever noticed, like, I think the best description or depiction on how the ego is being, uh, 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 what's the word that I'm looking for? Fuck it. Now, if you see the movie They Live, right? They Live. If you also see the movie The Matrix, right? So when Neo became conscious, he was wearing glasses. Same thing. They Live. In order for you to see further, you had to wear those glasses. So that's what education or knowledge does to the ego, because the ego has no inherent qualities, or the ego is not in touch with time. It is short sighted, it doesn't see far. Now, your job is to extend your views, and as you're doing so, you're expending your ego. So, your ego is not going to go anywhere until you separate from this body. But for now, niggas, everybody has one. So, what you see is that your ego can only go as far as you go. So the more knowledgeable you are, so therefore what you do, like if we were to use that same cat example, right? Or like, okay, well, maybe not every water is hot. There's a certain texture to hot water. There's steam coming out of it. So I'm starting educating oh, okay. So maybe now next time you could take a look at the water, maybe even if you don't want to come close to it. And now if you choose to come closer to it now, okay. Now, but there's also cold water, right? And when you mix hot water with fucking cold water, you know what I'm saying? That's another texture type of water. So as you're doing so, as you're educating your fucking ego that way, or as you're amassing that knowledge for yourself as well, Guess what's happening to the fucking ego? It's letting go. His views are being expended. It could see more now. So now you're not gonna be afraid of certain things anymore because you had re-educated yourself. So the ego and conditioning are different. The condition will determine you and as or how far your ego will go. So that's why you have to condition yourself with heart knowledge that's going to enable you to expand your ego's vision versus, like right or wrong, the dumb fucking knowledge. So it all comes down to the type of knowledge that you're getting, but most importantly, the condition that you in, the conditioning. So that's why you can't really go like old or traditional women was less egotistical. No, they were as egotistical. The difference was in the way that they were being conditioned. One way was, a little more had to, or in so many words, were, oh shit, sorry, what the fuck? Mm. So, yeah, I was gonna say one way, but it doesn't matter. The bottom line is this: it's like both traditional or modern women both have egos, but their conditioning was totally different. In fact, so much so, any traditional women, would teach their, daughters how to be like them. Now, you motherfuckers are the one being like, fuck that shit. I'll be damned. If I were to be like you, it has nothing to do with the ego. But what you're being conditioned now, it's more acceptable. Like you don't have to live your life that way. You're becoming more independent. That was the word. Those were some of the quote unquote condition that women are surrounded themselves with. So it has nothing to do with the ego. The ego can only go as far as you go. So why is it important to understand that about yourself? It's the key. Like me as a healer, and I came to understand like when you're dealing with yourself, the key to transformation is it's in harmony. But you can't transcend without making peace with yourself. And by making peace, I'm saying realigning your emotions. But for you to do that, though, you got to have the right information that would allow you to do that. So it all comes down to where you're getting your food from, dog. What are you eating? Do you see what I'm saying? You know better, you do better. There's no way around that. Now, you may claim to know, but how much do you really know? That's what it comes down to, man. It's being on certain frequency. So that's why it's important for you to re-educate yourself, but most importantly, to eat from the tree of life. The type of knowledge that helps you to see the world instead of just your fucking self. There's all type of different egos. We could talk about modern day ego, and the term modern day is only because we are being conditioned differently today versus let's just say a man like 50 years ago. The conditions are different, so the egos are going to be different because the ego can only go as far as you go. So that's why understanding the ego is not your enemy enables you to come closer to yourself, and also would enable you to actually transform, because that's the main key, understanding that. And because the bottom line, the gist of getting knowledge, it has to transform you, man. I don't know, man. Like, if you want to tell me how far the sun is from the earth, the orbit and all that, yeah, but how does that relate to you? Anything that's not relatable to you has no power over you. And that's one of the problems that a lot of church people are having, because the information that they're getting, they're not applying. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with them. But when you know you are God, when you know, do you see what I'm saying? Like it's a different approach. The games is being played differently on a different level. So because it's important for you to understand that, and that's how you're gonna get your heart to be as light as a feather. What that means technically, as you ascending, you cannot. Okay, this is the land of the lost, or call it the land of where energy is being condensed. So you will not be able to elevate if you heavy, right? So the type of knowledge that will, elevate your frequency is the life knowledge. So as you elevate, you got to be, it's for you to find that balance, for you to transcend. And that's how a lot of motherfuckers are being pulled down here, knowing the truth that it is you who will set you free. Because Maya also represents the wisdom of the great mirror. Like when you're looking at a mirror, you forget you were looking at the mirror. Then you start looking at yourself. And that's how the truth will set you free. Knowing that, or knowing it, like you got to know that though. It's a realization, because we're going through our path just to realize, or to reach that higher heights, right? That's what realization is. That aha moment. It takes you on a whole different frequency, right? But for you to do that though, like you cannot be fighting with yourself. The better understanding you have about yourself, your feelings, and that's what you got to go through. That's what you're purging, so you could transcend and have God status, where you're no longer guided by your emotion, but now you find harmony, but you transcended to a point where now you can see the forces. You understand that everything is happening for you, but not against you or not to you. But for you to do that, you have to elevate past, not really past your emotion, but you got to go through your emotion. Yeah, that's it. You got to go through your emotion for you to pass your emotion. You know what I'm saying? There's no way around that. Is by going through it. And the way you go through it, through elevation, by reconciling or unifying, yourself, your ego, your shadow, and all of that. And that's what the spiritual work is. In a nutshell, it's you being able to you to be it's you to be a fucking sane human being. Because in so many words you're insane. That's why being spiritual, you're just a better fucking human beings. So that's why I don't quite understand what niggas are talking about, fuck humanity and all that shit. Because you don't understand the difference between being one-sided. Because okay, and here's something else too you also gotta understand. That's why you gotta raise your frequency. As you are on this plane where the energy is more condensed. So the scale is being on one-sided, which is your body, your ego, the intellect, and all of that shit. Now, for you to balance that scale, that's when you have to become spiritual. By elevating your fucking frequency, by eating from the tree of life, then you bring it to a fucking balance. And that's what fucking being in harmony is. That's all it is. And that's all. And for you to be like that, that's when you have to, and that's pretty much when you get like this, that's what transcendence is. Now you have transcended your emotions, your, I don't know, like, like, uh, okay, maybe transcending, okay, I'm just going to use transcending your emotion for lack of better terms. because in reality, you're not really transcending them. You're using it better now. Because becoming spiritual doesn't take away your intellect. Oh no, it makes it better. Now you could really see shit for what they are. You know what I'm saying? That's why every spiritual motherfucker is a genius. Show me one spiritual nigga that's a dumb nigga that do not use their fucking intellect. But the difference is we go beyond just the intellect. We also understand. That's what the difference is between the one-sided motherfucker versus is not grasping the intellectual, I mean the spiritual aspect of shit just by going by what they see, not knowing for you to see what you see, you got to see what you don't see, and that's how you see what you see. I know it's crazy. Oh shit! Like I'm too serious tonight. What the fuck? I have to catch myself, nigga. Let's snap out of that shit. But anyway, um, but shit. I guess I was on one. Nigga, slow down. And ain't that serious. But in a nutshell, what I'm trying to tell you is there's a difference between conditioning and the ego. And also, it's very important for you to understand the psychological aspect of yourself because that's the only way. That's why when a motherfucker look at spirituality and you put it on the side, like, no, that's your life. You cannot do it. There's no, like, in fact, I did talk about that shit. Life survival kit. It's all about knowledge. Even like motherfuckers said they'd be hustling, yeah, but doing what? Like, you can't just make money just by making money. You gotta give something, motherfucker. What are you giving? Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm saying this to say, what the fuck was I saying? I think I was making another point, but I got so many shit going through my mind at the same time too, because and I'm also trying to stay relevant, to the conditional or conditioning part of us that we tend to, somehow link it automatically or directly to our ego, not looking at the condition, the environment that we in, and then the ego just go as far as you want to go. You know, in fact, I'm gonna show you how my ego saved me. There was this young lady that we used to talk, right? So pretty much we exchange information, and then she was very very like humble when she started learning a lot of some of the shit that I was kicking to her, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're so perfect. You this and you that. You got to take credit for that because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't understand none of this." I'm like, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Now, on the flip side of that, you would have said, what? My ego, because I killed my ego. But that's not what it is. And I'm going to show you how my ego saved me. Because understand, the ego is the part of you that protects you. And I've been feeding my mind and I've been educating myself, conditioning myself as, hey, there's nothing that I can teach you. Absolutely nothing. I went through it myself and I fucking know it. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just like the Kybalion. It says in the Kybalion, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So understand that the student is ready. I could tell you right now, there's a lot of shit that I'm saying. There's a lot of things that I come to understand. I used to hear them shits over and over and over again. So much so, I used to be mad at, I used to be mad at some of those shit that I used to hear. And now I can't even stop saying them shits. I'm ready now. So me understanding that, because and here's something else too. Just like I told her when she's saying I'm trying to be humble, well, I'll take that too. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm good looking, babe. I'll take it all. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest though, to take it for what it is, it's not me fucking being humble. It's just me knowing shit. I know, bitch, because the same shit that I could tell you and turn around and say it to somebody else, you listen to it, that person didn't listen to it. What the fuck did I teach you? You see what I'm saying? And I know it's because you're ready. So now when she said it, my ego was protecting the new knowledge that I have now because now I had realigned myself because now I'm no longer looking for praise, or I'm no longer like, I mean, because I praise myself, first of all. Shit, nigga. And I'll say better to me than you can ever say it to me, motherfucker. So now, with that being said, me re-educating my ego. Now, when that shit happens, and when she started talking like that, I was automatically blocked. I was automatically blocked, and I know that was my ego doing that. I'm like, bitch, get the fuck out of here. You see what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Oh, well, not really crazy. When you understand the ego, what the fuck the ego is, you're gonna talk different. And that's what you want, not just because. And the thing about learning about the ego too, it's so. This is. I feel like it's the pivotal. It's that. I guess I could use the word pivot here. It's the pivot point, that would get you on that other side, right? The other side, which is, being born again, simply means looking at things from a different angle. Now you went from looking at everything from being a physical now to looking at shit in on fucking energy frequency levels, particles, and all that shit. That's all it is. And now it gives you a better understanding. Now, when you talk to other people, like me personally, I know when I'm talking to a nigga, like a nigga not listening to me. Like when I say not listening to me, like I mean I know you can only listen when you're ready to listen. That's not what I'm saying. You know how like I could tell when I'm talking a different shadow side of a person. I know this is your fear side. I know you see what I'm saying. That's your bitch side. I know all of that. I'm like, oh, okay. Which one of them motherfuckers are out right now? Oh man, which one of these niggas are out right now too, right? So I'm saying this to say, understanding the ego, understanding your conditioning is very important because that's how you get to program yourself. That's how you get to change things around. So it's very important for you to understand that. You can have somebody living in fucking, not everybody thinks the same as it is in the fucking United States, man. Like, y'all niggas, like, gotta stop making America the world, man. Nah, well, it could be your world, I get it, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, in fact, as my man was talking about modern women, it was funny. There was another lady that I was listening to. I can't recall her name, but she was so on point, man, talking about how it is a duty. But anyway, I'm not going to get too much into that. But it's like, in so many words, she understood, you got to give to receive. And a lot of motherfucking women that I notice over here, they just think they entitled to shit instead of understanding you got to give to receive. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that I also realized once I started doing these videos too. Like I would find people that would send me videos, right? And I'm like, motherfucker, did you hear what I was talking about? So I know what you're talking about. And then that's when the spirit hit me and like, no, 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 no. That's not what's happening here. It's that I put myself out there like this, and that's what's coming back to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not like you know what I'm saying. I just don't think a motherfucker would send me a Tasha K video unless if you're trying to be funny, which would be funny too. Ha ha ha, nigga. Do you see what I'm saying? Because that's not the shit that I'm putting out there, and that's the key to a whole lot of shit that I just said too, man. You know what I'm saying? You can only that's the type of world that it is. God is the key to everything in this world. In this, I could call it the land of the lost, but there's so many different layers to how Maya is being defined, or the world that we in. That's why they call it an illusion. Illusion doesn't mean it's not real. It is very much real. But what you think of it, that's not what it is. That's why you have to move by faith, because it's not about what you see, it's the frequency. And that's what you have to understand in this world, because it is so condensed. So you people tend to look by, with their physical eye versus your intuition that's guiding you. And that's where the fucking illusion is, because you thinking your eyes got to do it, whereas it's supposed to be your intuition, your sight. And when I'm talking about your spiritual side, faith, however the fuck you want to call it, or the spirit. That's why it's more real. It's a different reality now once you start, when you start like getting on that side. Because now you understand the power of the mind. You understand that everything that you see came from what you don't see. It's a different talk, it's a different walk. And that's why they've been telling you got to move by faith. All of that shit start making sense once you understand the true reality and you understand who you are. As you're understanding the ego too, which is that pivotal point for you to, what I'm saying, to balance the scale. That's why true balance on this plane, it's not about doing 50-50, but it's about becoming spiritual, because the scales is already tilted to the left, because we're already here, right? We have a physical body. And I think Phil Valentine had a shit on that too, saying how the God needs us and we need God. On this plane, that's why we need God to balance the fucking scale. And it's harmony every fucking where. That's why we have to eat from the tree of life. I'm saying, I feel like I'm being too serious here, man. But anyway, for consultation, holla at your boy. I'm gonna put my description, because that's what we do. As a healer, it took a minute for me to actually come out my shell. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, nigga, you gotta do this thing. So, as a healer, I'm not a physical healer, none of that, but I will help you to, if you're going through the dark side of the dark night of the soul, or if you're at the very beginning of your spirituality and you need that that information that will take you on the other side. In so many words, I'm saying that will help you to be more balanced, that would open up your fucking ego, for lack of better terms, or your vision, and how for you to get lighter. And that's pretty much what this whole shit is about. Or how to be a sane human being too. Because, you can't be sane when you can't express your feelings. That's why, like, I was talking, that's why, like, how can I be with somebody who's not spiritual? I can't do it. And when I say spiritual, I mean, it's just for lack of better terms. If you know yourself, nigga, you good. That's all it is. And knowing yourself, meaning you grasp the physical and the non-physical part about you. I know I kind of make it look easy. You know what I'm saying? What can I say? It is what it is. That's simplicity reveals the master. That's what it comes down to. See, a lot of people who are talking about being a good human being, they're not. They can't be either. You can't even express yourself. That's what you see in fucking relationship. Motherfuckers are mad. They can't even know how to express themselves. They don't even know how. These motherfuckers don't even know how the fuck they feel. Motherfucker, that's your feeling. You can't even express that shit. But I'm saying so that to show the insanity in us. I mean, again, this is for lack of better terms too, because there's also layers in what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? On that level, it is. On the next level, it's not. But again, I'm just making a point here. Okay, I don't have to cover all the bases at once, niggas. Relax. Relax. Okay. So there is a difference between your ego and conditioning. Your conditioning will determine your ego. Because your ego can only go as far as you go. And that's all it comes down to. You know, so just you gotta eat the right food, man. What are you doing? Yo, what are you eating, dog? You know what I'm saying? What kind of food are you eating? You gotta eat the right thing, man. Just do the right thing. You know what I'm saying, handsome? Do the right thing. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me stop. With that being said, I don't think I have anything else. I guess when something else pops in, and definitely holler at me. I'm gonna leave my uh, email address. You know what I'm saying? Holler at me. Let me know what kind of questions you have, or, especially regarding the ego, or if you are on that spiritual path, again, which is the regular path. I mean, it's the regular day to day activity. There's no such thing as human and then spirituality. I mean, yes, but definitely not, because the point of being spiritual is not to take out the humanity out of it, but it's to merge it together. And again, like a sane human being is a spiritual person, because we know how to, we understand how to work with ourselves. That's where the whole alchemist, or what's the fucking word? The whole being able to transform our fucking energy, emotions, and all of that comes into play by understanding those laws, by understanding, listen, anything that goes up must come down. Do you see what I'm saying? Or by understanding, as it is within, so it is without. So understanding all of those things, that's how we're able to navigate into ourselves, understanding our feelings and transform them, those feelings, and that's how we transcend. And once you've transcended, now Earth has no power on you anymore, or what you call the that fucking concentrated energy. That's what matter is. Now you have transcended that. That's how you are in heaven with the Father as you are down here, right now. And that's what the wisdom of the great mirror is, because once you start looking at yourself in that mirror, you're no longer staring at the mirror anymore. You're looking at yourself. And that's the realization we got to go through. That's when you start understanding I am the creator of this thing. So anybody that ever was attracted to me or I went to, oh, it was me. So once you start to adapt that type of mentality, you're not a victim anymore. Oh, you're taking control, handsome. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody drive you. You know what I'm saying? Get on that seat, baby. You know what I'm saying? Shit. It's a whole different ball game. This is definitely for the strongs though. You know what I'm saying? So in a nutshell, it's all connected. However, it's important, for you to understand the basic, like the ego, like certain things like that, because, that's what's going to help you to step into the whole new level without beating yourself up. In fact, you need to become in harmony with yourself. And by understanding the ego, now you have a best friend. Now you can also do your shadow work. And that's another part of your ego, too. Another part of yourself. Once you make peace with the ego, then you're going to start working with your shadow. Then what's going to happen now? I mean, shit, I guess I might as well give it away. Now, what's going to happen is that your shadow is going to start showing itself. Once you start elevating yourself, that's why doing your shadow work, you can't do no shadow work about no shit you don't know. You can't change what you don't know if you don't know it. So first, I mean, I'm sorry if I make it sound like so simple, but that's what the fuck it is. How can you fix something you don't know that needs to be fixed? I'm waiting. Shit, I should get a drink. Man, shit, y'all niggas got me on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I should have got my drink. Let me see, 35 minutes. Oh no, we're gonna stop. And I guess if I feel like talking again, I'll get back on this thing. But that's all it comes down to. I hope there was something for you. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but love. You already know how we're giving it up. Aisha, Malik.